What's up? I'm live. It's a Monday, but I guess that's okay because that means I'm playing Derail. That's what I've been doing as of late, at least. And since Satisfactory 1.1 is still. Oh, it's not on the main branch, so I ain't touching it. Besides, I've got some critical mods installed that if I don't have them updated, factories break. And, some of those factories are really important, so I really need those mods to be updated. Because, like, if any of those mods are in my fuel power plant, rocket fuel specifically. Oh, that would, yeah, no, oh no. If that goes wrong, I can restart it, but, that's my main power generation in that save. I've got a lot of coal power as well, but I would basically have to shed all of the main factory, all the production factories for items down, and just focus on getting that one factory back up and running. But that's satisfactory, and hopefully we don't have to worry about that in the first place. Tonight is Derail, and Jason, it's good, but it's also kind of a shame that you can't post GIFs directly into Twitch chat because yeah, you posted that and a certain James May clip came into my mind. I mean, you just say cheese, you know? Anyway, Derail. Where are we in Derail? Basically exactly where we left off last week. Not too much has changed. Yesterday I loaded in and rearranged some things so that we would be ready to leave immediately. Though I didn't check switches, I feel like. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we're going to be starting off from Machine Factory and heading to Harbor. Ethan found a button. Woo. 15. Nice. Still waiting on the game here, mind you. Still waiting. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that most people know what I was referencing there. There we go. Now we got another loading screen to sit through, though you can actually see this one. Yeah, I hope to not do this accidentally. Maybe purposefully once we're done with the save for the most part, at least for now. But, yeah, I don't want to end up doing this accidentally. $86.93. There we go. So I am in here, as you might have seen with the thumbnail, because yeah, I'm taking this job. And in fact, there it is. That was a logistical haul to Millbase, I feel like. We'll go there someday, just not as of yet. You can also see I did some things. Yeah. I stocked up while I was here. I was at 1.2 million. Back under a million now. But the key thing is lots of solder there, and even more solder there. And then here's those. But then in this one, you can see some defect detectors, overheating protection, amp limiters. And I feel like... I don't even care, honestly. I feel like I haven't replaced the one that's in the DE2 that you can't see. It's just out of frame somewhere over there, maybe? Yeah, also horn. I think that's some sort of bug related to the remote... No, the universal controller thing. Yeah, anyway, those two are drop-offs, so we don't care about them, and everything else is going elsewhere that is just too far away. So, these three were the three jobs that we're taking, along with the other one. So... that works. Yeah, I told you, it's just gonna do that. Okay, now we should be good. Yes. I'm gonna go over here, turn that once in the correct direction, and use that to start up. I don't think the weight's gonna be a concern. Hello? There we go. Don't think the weight's gonna be a concern for the consist. It's decent length, but it's not that heavy. And you're cut in. Brakes are released. So let's go. Bracton bought an AC unit. A Brit buying an AC unit? I hope you didn't buy like one of those floor units that only has a single pipe to it. Because if so, you did it bad. But yeah, air conditioning is nice to have, isn't it? He's messaging me. He's messaging me! Oh, it's just the GIF from before. Yep, that's the one. That's all you can get? Oh. Well, in that case, that sucks, because those are terrible. As a reminder, or a little educational snippet, those floor units, you know, the AC units that don't go in a window, but rather just basically sit on your floor, if they only have a single pipe, tube, whatever you want to call it, running out a window, what you're basically doing is you're taking conditioned air, heating it up, and throwing it outside. They're bad. If, however, that's literally the only option you can reasonably get, then you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. But those should be avoided whenever possible. You'll also notice I took the throttle out because, yeah, we're picking up speed just fine without it. No need to burn fuel. Speaking of fuel, I did top off. It was, what, like 35,000, I think, to top off everything. Wasn't too bad. But yeah, we're just, that's handbrake. I don't think we're so heavy that I can't just keep it under control with the dynamic. And yeah. Remote switch setter coming in handy. We are not going into here. I did consider briefly going up here to see if there was anything to haul back south, but like... what am I going to do? A logistical haul back to Coal Mine South? Not worth my time. So, yeah, we might stop at City West, though. Because there's usually a good carriage, it seems, just hanging out at City West going to Harbor for like 50,000. That'd be worth putting on the end and bringing with. I'd have to drop it, then back up and drop. This one. But, you know. I think currently the way I have it set up, well, first and foremost, you can go there. Because that is mill base, that is getting dropped first. This is going to G, this is going to E, and this is going to E, so that way around. So E8, E9, I don't know, I don't remember which one is which. And I'm not sure I'm not sure I actually marked it well, so I'll figure it out when we get down there. And then that's going to be last because G. Spent years looking for a two-hose unit? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, in that case, fair enough, Geeson. Fair enough. That really sucks, though, that you have to put up with the very inefficient one. I mean, in theory, you could rig it up so that that's not the case, but that's easier said than done. So, it's a shame that that's so common, that those are so common. Yeah, exactly. Like I said before, again, you're effectively just taking conditioned air and throwing it outside. Heating it up and throwing it outside. It's so inefficient, and yet those are still so common. Ridiculous how common they are. Because it's not like they're uncommon over here in the States. Obviously, we've got a lot of central air and window unit options to us. But there's also a lot of single hose floor units as well. My one aunt, depending on your pronunciation, you know, relative. But yeah, she had one of those floor units. I didn't actually take a look. 15,000? It's only 15,000? I do not care, although I did see... No, these are just going between cities. So yeah, she had a single hose one. And I didn't really think about it too much at the time, because this was before I really knew much about those floor units. You know, I was much more familiar with the window units. But I'm just cheating using the drone camera. Just to see, because I forgot to set the thing ahead of time. I guess I should also check this while I'm thinking about it. So we are going to be going left and make sure that's left as well. But again, I'll be dropping nothing, actually. I'll be able to pull forward, back it in, and then go over to E. So left, left, left. And you are going to B7I. So that is a right, right, left. There you go. Get like 1 week above 77 and now it's a lot. Yeah. Yep. It was written into our rental agreement that the landlord would provide us with air conditioners for the bedrooms, but he would not supply them until... Let's do E8 for the time. He would not supply them until like mid-May. Yeah, that's no longer possible. That's no longer workable. Like, it's gotten to the point where mid-May we're already cooking. And yeah, this year is no different. It hasn't been super hot, but it's been hot enough on select days that it's like, just give me the air conditioner, which fortunately mine's been in for years at this point, which is probably not good, but never mind that. But yeah, I can literally just fire it up whenever I want to. Temperature pending, of course, you know. I don't run it when it's super cold outside, because that's a good way to do damage to it. Also, obviously, this is our air conditioner, not the landlord's. So, there's also that. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. That original line in the rental agreement. Plus, the air conditioner he would provide me was like half the size of that thing. And as time has gone on and I've added more heat generating components to my room, yeah, gaming computers are great, but between that and a certain global event, it hasn't helped my room stay cool. And so, yeah, that little unit stopped cutting it. And that was back in 2020 even. That wasn't like in the last couple of years either. It's just been not great for quite a while. You know, I could fire up the other DE6, but there's really no point. The speed limit's 40 anyway. We're fine. Yeah. The whole just feeling like you need an air conditioner to stay cool. Yeah, that's also a big difference between here in the US and the UK. 1 week above 25°. That sounds nice, only having 1 week above 25°. Even 10 years ago, that, not so much. Yeah, that makes sense, Geeson. I would love to have a mini split system for here, because, you know, individual room control even is possible for that if you have a multi-head unit. But that's the other problem that we have. We have plenty of aircon techs, we just don't have many that actually seem to want to do anything other than the traditional central air systems that we typically have here. So, you know, like mini split systems especially end up being stupidly expensive. So if you want to install them, you either pay a small fortune or you just do it yourself. It's stupid. Yeah, reversible heat pump setup, whether it's a mini split or not, would be so nice. Of course, having windows that actually seal would also be so nice, but I don't want to get into that right now. Are we out of the 40 yet? I think we are. Seven that way, and we're coming up on a 6 here, so we're good for the moment. Yeah, I've said many times I'd honestly rather not run an air conditioner just because, you know, I'm stuck with a window unit, and it is very loud. In fact, you might be able to tell it's running right now. And here, let me just actually crank the fan up to max. I don't know how much better you can hear it now, but it's a lot louder to me. I purposely keep it locked to the lowest fan setting, which isn't great for cooling off my room, but at the same time, if it's not stupidly hot, that's fine. It's fine, you know? Like, it just has to keep the room cool. If it doesn't have to actively cool it off, it doesn't need to run on a higher setting. And it's literally right over there. I know you can't see, but, like, it is pretty close. So the quieter I can have it, the better. Of course, the air conditioner also used to be in the window directly next to me. That was the smaller unit that I used to have from the landlord. Yeah. My desk wasn't over here originally, to be fair. Instead, it was my bed. Moved back from college, and I basically said, nope, things are changing. Desk here, bed there. Swap them around. But now I have a window next to my head that basically doesn't do anything other than leak air between the inside and outside because it doesn't seal well. I could rattle it around in the window frame right now while it's shut. That's how bad it is. Why am I not flying? You know, it just kind of occurred to me, I'm on that section of track. We are good for a while. It'd be nice to not need air conditioning, but I don't live in a part of the world where it's reasonable to get away with it. Oh no, Geeson. The hose is too short, so you're dumping it into the rest of the house and sealed yourself up inside your room. That is... perfect. Just perfect. The hose isn't long enough. Excellent. Alright, I'm gonna take the throttle out because we're gonna need to start slowing down somewhat soon. Like, that's a 7 there, but it's gonna rapidly come down to a 4 once we get around the next right. We're not under a time crunch, so just coast it in. It's fine. Yeah, it's kind of funny that, at least while I'm tabbed into the game, like, you can't see my mouse right now because I'm not tabbed in, but as soon as I tab in, you can see it, and then you can tell where I'm moving my mouse. Vaguely. Until I tab out, at which point it stops controlling it. Back down to 70. That's not helpful. Then again, neither is this. That turn honestly feels tighter than I would think it is. But it's fine, it wasn't squealing or anything. 18C in there versus 26 in your office where the 3D printer is. Yeah, 3D printer probably doesn't help with that, does it? We might actually be fine for a little bit. I'll take that out. Hey, evil. Ah, quiet. We're going right. That's intentional. Ah, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, we're 6 through here, but it's 4 the other way. But there's a 40 not too long after here. Also, it said it was 6. That's through the junction. Now it's 7. And now it's 6. Speed limits are all over the bloody place. Yeah, that makes sense, Geeson. The remote monitoring for even for a 3D printer is definitely not a bad thing to have, and in the slightest. Not that I would know from experience. Well, I kinda know. It's not as though I have zero experience with 3D printers, you know? College, engineering, rapid prototyping is a great thing to have. But yeah, that was more towards the end of my stint in college. And those things were small as well. I mean, there was a much larger 3D printer, I believe, but it was an older unit. There were a couple of small ones. They were tiny. I don't remember exactly how big they were, but from what I've seen, they were, you know, definitely on the small side. We've seen modern day. I would like to get a 3D printer at some point, but as with everything, my money is destined to pay my bills and nothing more at the moment. For a reason to buy a new one. Yeah, because, you know... Nah, I don't got anything. They aren't cheap, so they're definitely an investment. I can imagine justifying it. Definitely be a challenge, depending. Right, evil. Yeah, I mean, like, I would love to have a 3D printer. You know, case in point, I'm sure some people know this, but my microphone is actually supported by Rockenbach, if you know what that is. Not made anymore, not for a long time, so an older product, but yeah, it's a headset mic, but I don't want to wear a headset all the time, so I've got it mounted to this boom arm made out of Rockenbach so that it can just hang out here next to me. Right. The problem is, Rockenbach is plastic, and some of it is old. Like, the newest stuff that I have is probably, like, around 2009, 2010. The oldest stuff goes back to the 90s. So the plastics are getting quite brittle with age. And that's a bit of a problem because I put this up, take it down, put this up, take it down. You know, every time I need to set up my microphone, it goes up and down. And the plastics are breaking from fatigue because they're old. Undo your mic to a stick. I mean, that is possible, but the nice thing about this is I've got multi-point articulation. This might be a little loud, but I don't think it's too bad. So I can just, like, move the microphone over there. I'm doing alright. I think you can hear me from here. But it's really handy because I can position it, you know, exactly where I need it depending on what I'm doing. You're also one of the people... The train has run away from me while I'm not paying attention. Yeah, I didn't mean to slow down that much, though. Yeah, I understand the whole birthday, getting older thing. I'm a bit younger by a few years, but my birthday is also in May, so... I don't say exactly what day, though, but yeah, it's sometime around now, probably. This month. Getting old's fun, isn't it? Yeah, cheap ones are out there, but again, my budget is $0, Geeson. Like Evil said. It's not that I don't want to pay for something, I just can't afford to be clear. I'll pay for a good product. I have no problem with that. It's just not my budget currently. But yeah, so my point is, like, I like this boom arm because I can mount it to the window frame here next to me, so it's isolated from my desk. It's lightweight, barely. It has a strain relief for my microphone cable, since that's running a long ways from my computer. And... you know, it's great, but it's fragile because the plastics are aging, and 3D printing would help that a lot because there's actually a lot of Rockenbach STL files out there. What am I hauling? We got some military ammunition, there's these containers, there's these containers, and there's some cars. All to the harbor, which, we're here. Ish. There's a cricket outside somewhere. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, literally, I was reworking this sometime in the last couple of weeks, and I broke even more blocks on it. It's rather annoying. But again, the plastic has become much more brittle with age, and that's just what happens. Like I said before, we're going to bring this to a halt. Back it into military base. Drop off the ammunition, and then roll forward into the E-yard. Oh yeah, there's the S60 just chilling there. S60, S060, I know. I know how it's pronounced and how it's supposed to be pronounced. Ethan. 3 sticks and some encased bearings you probably have laying around. I don't have any encased bearings, actually. Oh, thank you, Evil. You beat me to the punch. Great that they both just come through the alerter. Nice. course, I only saw the text on stream reward in my chat client, but that's because things are breaking because of the vent sub, I believe. You would. What do we got laying around here? Whatever that is. And probably more ammo. Yeah, we're not rolling very fast, but that's fine. Again, we're not in any sort of time crunch. You know, we got over 100 minutes for all of these jobs, and it's been, what, like 30? Nova? Neat. Thanks for resubscribing, Nova. Appreciate it. You going to sleep? Alright, fair enough, Geeson. Yeah, have a good night, Geeson. Game's being weird, don't do that. Also, this just happens, don't worry about it. That's set. So, go this way. Yeah, there's some weird bugginess with some things at the moment. Just don't worry about it. Yeah, 31 minutes, not a problem. 63,000, what do we got over here? Ammunition and military trucks. Not that much, which is good. Because honestly, in some ways, I'd rather just not have any good jobs be here. Let's see, if I... F2, so 48 is on the back. .48 is on the back, that's this one. Yeah. 48's on the back, and that is an E8I, which I think is the track I have selected. Excellent. And then we'll pull in, drop these, and then that's 73. Back in the other ones and go from there. Alright, so this is the end of the consist. I'm not trying to show off my wallet, I'm just pressing the wrong buttons. So the S060 is right there, the S282 is right there, and 3 of the 4 remaining trains that are demo units are in the consist there. Give it a bit more gas. You can get away with 30 plus. Yeah, that's probably the plan, Nova. I've been meaning to do it for a while, which is why the 060 is sitting right there in the siding, because I brought it back and then... Oh, actually, there's a lot of money going up to Machine Factory. Like $600,000 worth, which is why I'm at 974 currently. Okay. Slow down. Just about to get the train there. Yeah, the siding is definitely open. My wallet key and remote key are right next to each other, mind you. Which is why that keeps happening. So this job is going in E9I. But that job is going EATI, which is where we're currently at, this one. There's some decent looking cargo in here. Nothing too spectacular. Which again is good, because I've been putting off going to City West for a while. Bits! Thank you for your biddies, I appreciate it. Get the brakes on. I think I'm a little early. Yeah, I think that's the sign. But that's fine. Doesn't actually matter exactly where I drop it. Disconnect, set the handbrake, and proceed forward. Again, we're just going to get past this switch up here, and then back up over to there. I would have rather them have just been in the same siding here, but can't have everything, you know? More bits. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. And you got a little bit badge for it as well. I can probably afford to switch over to the DH4 at this point, but I've also noticed that the DH4 is kind of struggling because there's 375 tons worth of DH6, or DE6 rather, DH6 doesn't exist yet, slash DE6 slug up front that it's got to haul around, which is not great. And this will be pretty obvious to see what's what, because the cars are very different. I don't see any flags there. I think I put the flag back in the train that I should have used and didn't use it. Since these two consists are kind of similar looking. Got yet another hover hitch here. It's a bug. It's a known bug. So just ignore it. Whoopsies. Now I do want to be careful. Yeah, all those tracks are filled. I do want to be careful because I don't want to go too far out. You trying to make a pyramid out of bits? Because Evil just ruined it. Good job, Evil. No, seriously, thank you for the bits again. Very, very generous of you. Any and all contributions to the channel are greatly appreciated. No matter how small or large they might be, they all add up in the end. So where are we going now? G5I. Yeah, I want this one. G5I is right, right, and left. And that is going to be, well, that one doesn't matter, and a left there, and a right when we get to it. Egyptians shall not take over on my watch. I mean, they kind of have, because the default 1-bit cheer icons are kind of pyramids. Kinda. It's not that junction, it's the one after it. That junction goes to the F yard, which is there. It exists. The mine shovel world. Yeah, that's where the passenger platforms are, so they're unused as of yet. Tonight we steal the moon. Oh boy, that is a film, isn't it? I'm going into this the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. I can just do the other direction and, you know, just go in and then continue on and back out once I'm ready. Not a big deal. Yeah, small detail, Evil. Small detail. You'd pay no mind to that. Alright. Look. It can technically probably handle that little bit, but I'm not going to push it more than necessary. Okay, shall we actually get back into the train? And forward we go. Yeah, right, left. Double check, right, left. Yep. And that's because we're going to G5I. I could drop off the jobs that I've already dropped off. But again, like, as a reminder, 117 minutes. I stopped a little over the top of the hour, or started a little over the top of the hour. A little past the top of the hour, shall we say. So, there's no worry about the time. Yeah, nothing super interesting here either. I think there is genuinely just not all that much going on at the harbor currently, in terms of, like, worthwhile loads, and I actually like that. Because, again, that means that I have a reason to go to City South, because there's nothing worth taking otherwise. Huh, you can actually kind of stand down here. Neat. It's a little cramped for headspace, but just about works. Set a handbrake. And let's go drop all this stuff off. $12,300. Yeah, these were not high-paying jobs. $16,400. And this was the best one. $42,000. Okay, $42,000. Join Discord? Alright, thanks. Anyway. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Yeah, don't care. It's only 20 grand. That's 3 drop-offs. Screw that. And then all of this stuff. There is something to City South, however, it's not great. Logistical haul. For not a ton to City West. I'm not going back over there. A handful of jobs to Food Factory. Including one that is quite lucrative, not gonna lie. Ammonium nitrate to the farm. Logistical haul to the farm, which, Just trying to space them out a little bit so you can actually see stuff. Sawmill, a decent amount of stuff going to steel mill even, but doesn't pay much. And then, I mean, that's not terrible, but there's not a lot going in that general direction. So, yeah, literally the only thing that would be remotely worthwhile is that, and for 8,300, I don't care. Plus, where's B1I? It's an E, though. I'd have to go... So, in order to get that, I would have to pull forward, back up, reverse in, pull forward, back up and grab it, and then pull forward, except I wouldn't grab it immediately because I'd want to grab the other two steam locomotives first. So, yeah, what are our fees? Not bad. As a reminder, I have the, I have a regular old DE6 here, because double DE6. Alright, let's get back into here and get maneuvering this. I'm just going to pop over to that to start it up, because that is far more convenient than going outside to do it. And, amp limiter does its job for the brief amount of time that it's required. Oh, thank you. Thank you for not respecting my wishes. I'll just get run over and die. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna drive it from back here to start, because back here will get me much easier line of sight. And also, technically, what I could do here, if I really wanted to, is I could just drive up the hill a little bit and then come back. Why did you reset my headlights? That's... Oh, that one. But I don't want to reset the jobs. You know? I want to just... If I do it like this... There we go. How about that? 6 bits! Very much appreciated, Jacob. Oh, right. This, it doesn't have the amp limiter in it. Oh, thank you again. I need to get back to the goods factory so I can have some extra speedometers and such to mount, like, back here. Because if I'm going to keep this for shunting and remote access, then... You know, it's nice not having to just turn around over here or always be looking this way. I like to look this way sometimes, too, you know? How many trains do I own? Well, technically 5. Plus the, well, there's 6 demo units, right? But there's also the DM1U and the utility train, the utility carriage, rather. The BE2, the slug, the DE6 slug, and the caboose. The only one of them that I don't have, the non-demo units, the only one I don't have is the caboose, and that's because I just haven't gotten over there yet. I've got the key, but one thing at a time, I guess, because, you know, the caboose is down here. I just don't go that way a lot. I'm gonna be picking that up. You know, I should probably just pick it up now. So I should use independent brake. So let's go over here. So I have everything but the caboose and the S282. See, that's everything I own right there. Licenses. Are you actually going to let me buy the S2A2 license? Nope. I literally serviced it when I was up north. Now, unfortunately, that does up copay and time and reduce time bonus. But by doing that, I now have to find and re-rail, which is fine. Because, enter here, drop that off. And it's time for a break, like the bot said, so we're gonna focus on that now. Got on the tank engine. Yeah, my plan is, as I save the game and get ready for my break, the plan is that when I come back from break, 5 FPS to reduce heat output during the break, pick up the S282 and the SO60 AFK scene, and we'll head up to City West, which is... no, City South, sorry, which is basically just one town over. Like a 5 to 10 minute ride, it's not that far. And then we're not going to be able to restore them tonight, because that's going to require a run up to Machine Factory and back. But what we can do is restore the DM3 that is already sitting at the museum and has its parts already bought and everything. Can restore that, and we can also repaint some of the other vehicles that I already have. Specifically the ones that are now able to be repainted as of 99.4. That's the plan. I don't know what else I'll be doing tonight, because like that's only going to take like the next hour, probably. We'll see. And it's not going to leave enough time to run. I mean, like, I could technically run up to Machine Factory, but going up there and back just to get the parts, I don't know. I'd rather go down to the harbor, hope that there's something good there, and then make the trip up. Because then it will be worth my while, you know? Actually making money off the trip instead of just spending money to get parts. Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, like I said, first a break, and then grabbing those 2 trains and going to City South. During this break, though, I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads, prevents pre-rolls for next hour, and ensures that the gameplay itself is completely ad-free at the small cost of having some ads now, while literally nothing of importance is happening on screen. So just bear with me on that. The ads will be done by the time I get back, and if you're a subscriber, you shouldn't see ads. So there's also that. And yeah, I already told you what's happening, so BRB. Alrighty, I am back, and it just occurred to me, I don't think I really had any frame rate issues in the last hour. Nothing significant versus in previous weeks, since 99.4 dropped, 99.4 if you prefer, my frame rate was kind of shit. Like, the best I could hope for while hauling is 50s. It's generally more like 30s. But I feel like, I say that, I walk out and I'm at 50 FPS. But I feel like it's better. No, but why are you capped to 50 FPS, game? Okay, well, I don't think it's capped. I'm just wanting to sit at it. Probably annoying, but it didn't feel... Right, I'm over this way. It didn't feel as bad as it had been. That doesn't mean that it's good, though. Still gonna make noise? Anyway, huzzah! I found it! It's right here! Amazing, isn't it? Mouse. And that just automatically connects, thankfully. But I've got to do this one by myself. Are you actually close enough? You are close enough. How wonderful. And then, if I remember correctly, I've not played with one of these, but I believe that's the handbrake right there. Handbrake. And also, I feel like I've never actually seen anyone say that this is a good thing, but I feel like opening the cylinder cocks is a good idea, since they're full of water anyway, typically. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a good thing to do. In fact, you can see the water draining out now. Why? Why did I set the handbrake on you? Oh, because I serviced it, that's why. Yeah, okay. I serviced it, so it got reset. I'm set to go into the loading bay, so it's fine. But yeah, this sounds terrible. I'll also probably be using independent brake. Oh, I didn't quite back up far enough. Let's see, duck down. Those. No. I am hitting all the wrong buttons. There we go. And just as a reminder, these headlights are decently bright, but, is that bright enough for you? Don't need that on. Yeah, the headlights. The modern headlights. I don't like the look of them particularly, but damn, they're good. And yeah, sure enough, I've got 4 flags down there, though the render on that is offset slightly from where it is. Alright, so we gotta wrap around and then pick up, where is it? There it is, the SO60. And then we're just gonna head straight to City West, not worrying about anything else. Yeah, this is fine. There we go. So the actual switch is right here. Yeah, you sound terrible. Not that that's a surprise. I can just about stand here. Yeah, I don't have a lantern, so can't exactly... Right? I don't have a lantern? No, I have a flashlight. But I kind of need to hold the remote to get the braking right. That's okay, can see well enough, right? It's a decent mix there. We were at slow enough speed. I wasn't going to cause any damage doing that, so I wasn't concerned about it particularly. Then go in here, unset the handbrake, and I mean, I already flipped that switch to the point where we're already going that way. So at this point, there we go. At this point, you can just about see it with the moonlight. We are going to go left here and go into City South. We are going to go right, left. And let me just check. B yard is a right and a left. Good. Alright. That's the DH4. Yeah, who says that I need to actually be up in the main train, you know? Oh. Yeah, you can still do that thing where you end up on the side of the train despite not being able to do it, because they fixed it for warping out, but not warping alongside of, I guess. Sounds great, doesn't it? These headlights are fantastic. How much fuel do we have? Plenty. Because we're not hauling a ton of weight, I'm actually going to have to potentially back off the throttle a bit just to not overspeed, although it looks like it might be fine. There's probably a fair amount of drag just from the extra weight and, well, poor state of those 2 steam locomotives. Maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention to my frame rate. I mean, it's Harbor, so it's a very busy area, but my frame rate is currently sitting around, like, mid-40s. Ever since 99.4, it's gone to shit. Around that same time is when I started putting all the extra crap in my locomotives. Specifically more than just the DH4. So it could just be a coincidence. But I was really hoping it was the patch, and thus this latest patch with the performance fixes was going to fix it. I'm not sure that it has. I mean, it's probably made it better, but not like back to how it was, if for no other reason than I'm just demanding too much of the game. To be fair, I am trying to run this game at 1440p with basically maxed out settings. And I'm on a 2080 Ti. I say that, the GPU isn't loaded up that much, so this could be more CPU bottleneck, perhaps? I'm not sure. You would think the GPU would be more loaded up if it's struggling to get to 60 FPS. But if this is just single-threaded, which it probably is, and that one thread is getting hammered to the point of just being maxed out, then that would make sense for why the performance is not great. After all, I only have a 10900K. And yes, that is more of a joke than not. It's not as though my computer is that bad. Game optimization, yeah. I mean, I know it's optimization, like, the game is still early access, obviously. I don't expect it to run perfectly. It's just the patch dropping performance and, you know, at the same time, like I said, putting parts in this train. I say that. I think the harbor just deloaded because 70 plus FPS, anyone? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, we got away with it. We got away with it. For anybody that doesn't know, there's a bug that's apparently been in the game for a while, but more recent updates have really made it happen much more often, where pausing while a train is in motion could end up on resumption. It sets the speed of vehicles to 0, which causes them to derail, and you have problems. Fortunately, the defect detector would detect a derail, and it's not going off, so I think we're good. Oh man, buttery smooth, so much better than I was getting at the harbor. So yeah, I think this latest patch, Hotfix 5, did fix the performance, because I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm not hauling things, but yeah, I suspect that the game will get some optimization patches over time, certainly. And yeah, suddenly... Oh, wow. Yep, no, it was definitely a CPU bottleneck because of the harbor in that instance. Which makes sense. There's a lot of trains in harbor. There's a lot of carriages, a lot going on there. But I'm just looking at my computer statistics, and sure enough, CPU isn't nearly as loaded. GPU is more loaded than it was before. Because, again, it's doing, like... what, 20, 30 FPS more? It makes sense. I don't expect to get fantastic frame rates, if for no other reason than older hardware. You know, native 1440p, since this doesn't have DLSS or anything. Definitely gonna ask a bit of my hardware. But it runs it just fine. The only reason I even set it to 70 FPS is because I've noticed issues at 60 where, because of VRR, my screen will flicker because it's not quite able to stay consistently above 60, and that causes flickering. So 70 keeps it above 60. Yeah, now that we're here, it's dipping into the low mid-60s occasionally, but it's mostly fine. if I can do this just right. Yeah. Just right enough. Also, was your light on? And off. Don't need the shunter lit up. Come on. There it is. Just, you know, blindly clicking around. I'll get it eventually. .3080 Ti and a 7800 X3D can't maintain 120 at 1440. Yeah, no, you're right. 60 is absolutely adequate. Of course, it's always nice to be able to use your hardware to the fullest. But again, it's early access. The game is still in development. So don't expect too much, and yeah, 60 is fine. I just don't want the damn VRR flickering is my main thing, and when it's dipping below 60 FPS, that causes VRR flicker, turns out. Why are all of these lights on? This is the only one that should be on. Also, I'm gonna kill those, because that's ridiculous. In a good way. Set handbrake. And here, I'll even get this out, so you can actually see what's going on. Of course. Fuck you too, game. I'm just checking in here because I can. Yeah, not a lot going on here, is there? That's normal. No, just... It's starting to rain, right? Note the tin roof. Putting this back because we won't need it in a second. You also notice the lights are off. Oh no! The power must be it. No, just flip the switch. It's difficult to oh, and now I'm no longer moving with it by doing that. Was I getting moved by this, maybe? I don't know. By the way, DM1U and the utility trailer are sitting over there. We're gonna need those. There's the DM3, waiting to be restored. BE2 is right here. Flip it on, bring it to life. Make sure the brake is cut out. Or cut in, rather. And thank you. That way. Switch in your train game? Yeah, right. And fortunately, the controls are actually working from here, so we're just going to do this. Whoops. That way. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know that they improved the performance on this thing, but, like... Damn, does that pick up and go now. Wish I had regen brake. Yeah, that would be nice. Not just dynamic braking either, but actual, like, regen. Oh, did I do it wrong? Damn it. Brakes, 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 brakes. I thought I was behind the switch. I was looking at the wrong switch. I don't know. Yeah, there is a bit of a slope here. So the brakes are set, so that shouldn't be a thing. Thud. I mean, it should still be pressurized, right? Oh yeah, I have to be careful, because again, this doesn't have the amp limiter in it currently. Alright. Stop rolling down the hill, please. I just need to reconnect this to the rest of the consist of trains, although I might end up removing this while I'm here. I don't know. We'll see. On one hand, that would be better for shunting. On the other hand, this. It's tinier. Less capable, but tinier. Weighs less. Cut you out, just set the handbrake. Oh. Floating hitch issue again. Love when that happens. And, yeah, you got reset is why. Fuel cut out. Unset the handbrake. That's still flashing. This brake doesn't matter much. This brake doesn't matter much either, because the handbrake's set. You can see that not only from the flashing light, but we're not rolling anywhere. Yeah, that should be good. Everything's connected there. That's where it should be. So now I can unset the brake and go get these. How about some headlights, yeah? I need to remember, this doesn't have an independent brake. Stop trying to use it. Not wanting to slow down. Should be fine, honestly. 100%. It's fine. Unset the parking brake. And then this little thing is probably very reluctant. Right, unset the brake. We're fine. I think it stopped drizzling, so that's good. Yeah, I guess the plan is basically just take them in the museum, get them all on the turntable, and then just back them in one by one. Again, we're not going to be able to do anything more with these, but they'll at least be in the museum finally. The DM3 is the main point of focus, plus painting this and the other ones. Just had to actually wait to get here to do that. We're already full throttle. How's the battery? Not fully charged. It's not very fast, the micro shunter, but damn if it's not useful. It's really good for the museum. Really good for the museum. Also need to be careful not to overshoot because there's kind of a DM1U sitting there. Don't know how far we've got to go in, so I'm just going to drive all the way over here. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. So this is the S60, S060, and I can control the thing from over here. Wonderful. I believe in 99.3 there was a limited range on this, and I don't know, maybe this is just close enough, but I remember not being able to turn the turntable from the other side of the turntable. But currently, obviously, it's working. So that's very nice. But kill them to install a little bit more lighting back there. Whoops. I'm just gonna hop in here, air locomotive, and then back it in. Very slowly, obviously. The micro shunter isn't that powerful. It's a lot better than it was. A lot better than it was, but it's still not that powerful. But it's nice to finally have this here. Was one of the last ones for me to find, and the second to last to pick up. Got the handbrake, not that it's gonna roll anywhere. I want to say that this was the very first demo unit that I found, even though it was the last one I recovered. It was the very first one I found because it was just sitting there right in the front of harbor, right? So if I do this, that's the DH4. Helps to turn the correct direction. No. So they, in fact, did not fix this one in particular. Well, I get pushed by the train. No! But I can hop on board the train. S282, there we go. You relax. Yeah, I found this, and then shortly after the DH4, because the DH4 was also down at Harbor. DM3 was at the oil refinery. DE6 was the last one I actually found, which annoyed me greatly, especially once I realized where it was. DE2 was at Coal Mine South. But that damn DE6, it was sitting under a covering at Coal Power, and it was blatantly obvious if you looked the right way at it. But I wouldn't. I must have never looked quite correctly. Because, I just never saw it. Hello? There we go. But, you know, 060, 282, DM3, and then somewhere out over that way, DE6, DH4, DE2. And I believe, if you look Here, repair and refuel and paint job is all that's left. So if I just bring this back and hook up rather violently, mind you. Okay. I think 5 kilometers and below is fine. Kilometers an hour. Just pull this forward. There we go. And, wrong way. Yeah, the game really doesn't like it when you do that. But it's fine. The game can put up with it for a little bit. That track is occupied. That track is the paint booth, and that track is a repair booth. Again, just ignore the wheel spin, it's fine. Dun, 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 dun. I think one of the wheels is flat spotted. Or something. Ding. It's so nice having the BE2 because, like, I don't have to worry about it, really. I think it's up there, yes. There we go. Sneaky spot, they put that. Yeah, it's kind of not in the... It's in a weird spot compared to everything else. That's what I'm trying to say. Is this L78? Yes. Alright, 983,000. Let me get my freewheel going on my mouse so that I don't have to keep spinning it. Adds up quick. Already, I think, over 100,000 or very close to it, if not. Yeah, I think we're very close to it. 28, 33, 23. Plus another 1,000. It's close enough, you know? When you start adding in oil, sand, and diesel, it's gonna be around 100,000 to repair DM3. Which is understandable. It's a shunter primarily, and it's meant to be early game. 91,000. I can just top off the charge. And just top that off. But yeah, still 91,000 for everything. Great. There we go. Take that off. Take that off. Yeah, paint booth. Guess what? You don't actually have to move it over there. And I think you can actually keep a hold of this. Like, you don't have to put it back. Just is a tool. So conceivably, I could just, you know, put it in here. How many demo paints do I have? I don't quite have enough DV or demonstrator for what I want. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take those two. Take those two. I'm also gonna take that. Okay. We're gonna go paint some other trains in a moment. But first, let's get that going. A lot of Bondo being used. Give me a break, game. Not right now, I'm in the middle of something, game. Please. Just gonna drop that out there. Because if I exit the cab and come back in, it's going to do the same thing. So we're painting this full DVR, or demonstrator rather. DVRT is default. And the interior is cloudy. Red and white. Interesting. A bit of black in spots. Now it's worth noting, it's kind of hard to see, but there is shift pattern there. Fuel cutoff. Where's cab light? Cab light, there we go. There is a shift pattern thing there. Because, you know. Ah, that's what the other shift button is. Is that low enough? No, it's not. So you have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. That. That's awkward because the two shift buttons, so there's curly bracket slash left square slash curly bracket and apostrophe slash not apostrophe. Yeah, apostrophe in quotation, right? That's gearbox A. Gearbox B is right squirrely in square bracket, and then the pipe and other slash. Backward slash, forward slash. I don't remember which one's which half the time. And this is one of those times. So it's like two buttons that are vertical and then two buttons that are side by side. Alright, let's turn this off for the moment though. Because there's still an exterior to paint. And I imagine it's gonna, well, I know what it looks like, but I imagine it looks something like the inside. Yeah, congrats. And yeah, sure enough. Red, white, and black. Very nice. Just me, or does it feel a little like foggy almost in here? I don't know if this works, but I'm just going to put them all in there. It says, or it looks like it says it's for paper. Also, while we're here, 45,000 for the two steam engine stuff, the running gear and the boiler. So now I just need to bring that stuff back from Machine Factory, and we can work on those. But again, that's not going to be tonight. Other thing that I'm going to do while I'm here is get this looking right. Oh, apparently if you put that away, it just doesn't anymore. But yeah, there you go. It'd be slightly better from this side since bright sky in the background. Much better. Now, I do have a mod installed. I think it needs updating, but I have a mod installed that allows you to own more vehicles. So basically, you can own DVRT vehicles. Like that. And I think that allows you to repaint them. So I might just have to do that at some point so I can have my 3 trains looking the same instead of just sticking out like a sore thumb. Yeah, that's much better. That is so much better looking. And then the other one that I'm definitely repainting right this second. Don't want you. Want. Yeah. Because apparently you can do this. Spray that down. And from what I understand with this latest patch, while it was possible to use demo paint before, it's DVRT only now. But that's fine because it was always going to be DVRT only, or at least that was the intention. And yeah, look at that. Much nicer looking. The wood doesn't look all rotted and stuff. It actually looks, I mean, the wood might not be perfect, but it looks a hell of a lot nicer. Compared to like this, I've driven this vehicle plenty. Oh yeah, and they added this little cutout here with 99.4 so that you don't have to step up over it, which I think required crouching. Speaking of requiring crouching, ow, my head. As someone who's over 6 foot tall, I understand that all too well. Oh. Okay. Can I take... I can take the fire extinguisher. Nah, screw that. Alright, well... I don't have a lot of paint left. I have 1 DVRT and 1 demo. So originally I was thinking of doing the DM1U because I've seen that. I was thinking of doing it mixed because I kind of like the regular exterior but prefer the demo interior. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over here and we are going to save the game so that anything I do right now I can undo. That is annoyingly bright. So DVRT, we already know what it looks like. It would just be a bit more refined from what it previously appeared as. With demo paint, though, ugh. Nice aliasing. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's orange, you know? Doesn't look bad. But I think I like the blue over the orange. Obviously, this is unique. But it's not like there's a ton of these running around anyway. And I can always repaint it later. But more importantly, the interior, right? So this is the default interior, right? I mean, you've got the orange on the doors, but ignore that. It's yellow. It's not great, honestly. Also, it's daytime now, so can I... If I can find the damn switch. Can I flip that off and not have it be stupidly bright in here? Instead... There we go. Yeah, it's yellow, right? It doesn't look fantastic in my opinion. Whoops. So let's just go and load this save. Because, especially with the way that stripe looks on the front, if the DVRT paint does not look that way, I think I'd rather just have the DVRT paint. Honestly. Let's do both in one go. Just to show it off, but I think I also want to look at the BE2, how that is, so I might not paint the interior immediately. So paint this with the DVRT on the outside. Because, again, for these, I don't feel like they need to be in the demo paints. And, I mean, look at that. I've always had a preference for blue in general, but, like... Especially since you don't have the aliasing issue around the blue stripe there. And the wood looks mint, again. Reflects that nicely. But there's still the interior to deal with. But I think I'm going to go with that. Again, it's the bog standard look, but I think I prefer that to the orange. So I'm going to make a new save. Nice autosave. And before I go using my only can of demo paint, I only need one. So the bog standard for the outside here is yellow, right? It's gonna look basically the same, just cleaned up. So the demo paint on here, though, and it's gonna become red. Not quite the same red as that. But dark red, it's actually kind of nice. Almost dark gray, a bluish silver, dark silver sort of color. But I'm out of paint, so I can't show the interior at the same time. So, load that save. Now, of course, I can just warp around wherever. It's not like I can't do that. I can afford to do it. It's entirely easy to do so. But we're not necessarily going to do that, but maybe. I don't know. Yeah, frame rate, come back to me, please. Not in here. So if we... Apparently you can't scroll the door open if you're holding something. This isn't terrible by itself. It's not Bondo filled, but it's also kind of a little sterile. Very gray. This is chocolate and vanilla. I think I prefer this with the default colors, because you get accent colors based on the exterior and interior, right? So you can't really mix and match them as well. It doesn't look great that way. So I think what I want to do for this is all DVRT and just keep it looking bog standard. So I just need 2 cans of DVRT for that. I'm not entirely on board with the demo paint colors all around. It doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong. But I think I just slightly prefer the demo, or the DVRT colors. They both gotta start with D, don't they? And yeah, the bot said that it's time for a break, but what more am I going to do besides repaint my trains? So, finally, now that I've used this sufficiently, let's ignore that. Paint this. Just point it at the floor, it doesn't matter. And I mean, that pattern's a bit funky, but while the blue doesn't match perfectly, would you not say that the blue interior kind of goes better with the blue exterior in some ways? Can you please stop? Yeah, you can even access this little room. It's not even a waste closet, it's just a closet. It's also brighter in here now. Much brighter, so you can like actually see the brake cutoff and such. So I like the interior being demo paint in here. And it certainly looks a lot better with refreshed paint. Ah, so close. But yeah, again, I've got enough sand. I do not have the paint, though. And the problem, of course, is that there's no store here. So I think I'm just gonna fast travel real quick. It's cheap. I don't need to worry about anything, you know. I'm just gonna go there, buy paint, come back. Went too far. And 2 DVRT paint cans. And now we go back to City South. Slightly more money than going to Harbor, but I don't know, maybe it was because I was technically slightly further, and the weather's changed. Oh, did they fix this? It's no longer just the same weather throughout the day. Did they actually fix this then? Nice. That was broken for a while. But because it's raining, and we're at the museum, we now get to experience the wonderfulness that is that. Yep. I mean, it is kind of hard to hear the rain over the spraying, right? But And you'll note also, like, yellow paint in here, even though the outside is stripped. That's why I said you can't really mix and match, because even if you do the demo paint outside, you're still going to have the yellow in here. It doesn't really work. So, just making it look nice and fresh. There you go. A BE2 with a bog standard paint job, but at the same time, you know, it still looks good. Actually, do that. Shut this down. Put in neutral. So the next time I go up to Machine Factory, I'll be picking up 4 more tins of sand and 4 more tins of demo paint. Ouch. And that will cover those 2. And of course I'll be taking these 2 things with me when I go up there next, so that I can get the parts for them, which have already been paid for. Again, I don't know if this actually works this way, but they keep disappearing, so I'm just going to keep acting like it does. And then once that's done, literally the only thing left to do in terms of vehicles is get the caboose. As I pointed out earlier, I'm ready to do, I just need to get over there. And also, might as well, right? See if it actually sticks. So yeah, like, the only thing I could really do right now is basically put the entire consist. I mean, I can do a little bit more. I was considering wrapping up early, and I probably still will. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I should just take my break now and we'll go down to the harbor on stream instead of off stream. Doesn't mean I'm going to assemble the train that we'll take up to Machine Factory, but the hope is that there will be something good at the harbor. Do I want to do that? See, on one hand, I could keep doing it. On the other hand, it gives me something to do to kind of keep me from wanting to just keep playing this. You know, I can look forward to, okay, I can play a little bit off stream, but I'm not going to do anything significant in that time. It's just going to basically be a short run and then setting up a consist. And then we do the actual run up to Machine Factory on stream. Well, I'm still probably going to have to assemble it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and save and take a break. I won't end the stream quite yet. After all, I'd have to find something else to do before I go to bed, because I'm not going to go to bed immediately after ending the stream. It's too early for that. And it's raining on the AFK screen, apparently. I blame the valley. Anyway, I'm just going to take a few minutes to stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer for a little bit. During this time, I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads, besides the very beginning and end. It disables pre-rolls for next hour and ensures that the gameplay itself is completely ad-free at the small cost of a few ads right now, while literally nothing of importance is happening. When I get back, I'll repark the DM3, fetch the DM1U and utility trailer and add that into the consist, and we'll probably end up running backwards down to the harbor. See what's there and maybe start prepping, but probably not. And end the stream from there. So yeah. BRB. Alrighty, I am back. Dingle is apparently here, and he is not aware that there is now a badge for clipping. Yeah, you made a clip on Saturday. Congratulations, you got a badge for it. Dumb? I mean, it's Twitch. What do you expect? Anyway, let's jump back into the game, shall we? And I need to configure my frame rate back up. Very hard to do at 5 FPS. Not gonna lie. Can you hear me? Give it rain. Anyway, I'm going to do this. Yes. We are, I believe, set up. Enable the electrics breaker and the starter. Look at the dash light. Look at the cab lights. Yeah, I don't care about that so much. Fun. You've been here but not here. Gotcha. Front light. This control sets the light type for a given direction. Medium intensity, high intensity. Compared with that, enable the rear lights. Monitor until 2 bar. About that. It's already up because shunter. Gently engage throttle. Yeah. Brake cylinder goes up. Yeah, that's great. Mechanical brakes there. The brake pipe. Yep. I know how that much works. The sander's there. Oh, is that a variable sander as well? Neat, if so. Forward position. Release handbrake. Gently engage throttle. Disengage throttle. Fully apply brake. Set to neutral. Yeah, gearbox A, gearbox B, there's a little plaque to tell you how you shift, I know. Oil temperature, transmission fluid, the fuel cutoff's there, I'm not touching it. Got an engine brake, yay. Horn. Wheel slip indicator. Fuel gauge. Oil. And... yeah, they even tell you... even if you've already restored it and you've never used one before. Like, this is the demo unit. I understand it's this way because you're not necessarily going to be only driving these for the first time after doing the demo unit. But, like, I've already figured that out. Thank you, game. Yes, and there's another one over there. That's the one I used. Why? I set the handbrake in here. No? Oh, because you're cut in, that's why. Yeah, now it's not complaining. Did I stall it out? I stalled it out. Not working, obviously. I know it puts a load on it while doing that, so just gonna take it out of gear while it sits there. There we go, DM3. Spin it around to here. And what I'm actually going to do, disconnect you, cut you back in so I can actually stop. Not this side. Alright, well, it's clear enough. I actually don't need to do that. It's wet out, so of course it's going to slip, even though we're indoors. Indoors. There. Alright, resume spinning. Right, independent brake. Is that the correct gear to use for second? No. I went straight to third. Alright, well, set that. Set that. Fuel cutoff is there. And, put it back in first. I didn't blow it up, just moving it around. Isn't that exciting? Alright. Now the question is, do I want to drop the DH4 off here? I feel like I kinda do, just because... like, I don't need it. It's just extra weight. Like, it's not likely to be helpful to me. You know? And it's a better shunter than that is, but... I was kind of going off the assumption that at some point I'd do DE6, Slug, DE6, DE2, and just leave the DH4 behind. It served me well, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm only abandoning it because it's just not really needed anymore. So I think I'm going to do that. Not to mention, it also kind of holds back the DE6s if it's run. This is fine, by the way. Just let gravity do the work. Yeah, you can see there's a slight downhill here. Back towards the tunnel. It levels out more that way. It's evident by the fact that it's almost level. But back here it's not. I shouldn't have cut it in. Because now I have to wait for it to roll back. Or I could just, you know, drive it. Mouse, please. Something weird happened there. That's fine. That you. And then, forward. This away. Yeah, I do like the DH4. It's very capable for what it is. And the last thing I had loaded into it was 910 meters. Versus how large are you actually? 13? There. Served me very well, this train. I think it's time to put it away for the time being. And, yeah. I'm not gonna spin around with it. DE2, DM3, DE6, S282, I believe, DH4. Set handbrake. The lights are turned off. Put it in neutral. And how do I control this again? Yeah, I don't know where the rain's coming from. Just ignore that. Whatever. I don't care. I was just thinking I could put the BE2 right there and then have all the bays filled, but like... Nah, I'm doing it. $1,000 to put it there for a photo. Alright. Put up that away. I'm just gonna leave it there now. Cause, right, this is the D6 bay? Yeah. D6 isn't going back in there anytime soon, so it's fine. Alright, we'll do the thing now. Yes. Enable the electrics breaker, cab light, the wipers. Yep. Gotta wait. I'm trying to speed that up. But. Yeah. Speedometer's hard to miss. Set forward. Release handbrake. Hold up. Yeah. I just need to yoink. I didn't want to lose the momentum. I know how to drive this. Yeah, fuel cutoff is right there. Horn. Fuel. Oil. Sand gauge, even though you said the sand before. Yeah, look, fuel goes in there. And it goes in here. Thank you. Give me a break, game. That's so little throttle. Whatever. No independent brake. Got it. And now we spin it around. While we're doing that, since I just have to hold down a button, I'm going left, going left, going left, and that can also be set going right. That's going left. Just straight through E, ideally. Not that I'm going to go that way, just make sure that it's defaulted to that. Okay. So now, reverse. Brakes off. Stupid bastard. Oh shit. Go. Also, I recognize I just put too much throttle into it with the amp limiter not in place. I forgot to put that back, but it's there now. Alright, let's see. Keyboard controls. Flip you that way. Ideally, you would have been in neutral, but never mind that. Able to brake. And I'm not even going to worry about shifting it, because honestly, it's too slow to worry about shifting it. Too short? Just perfect. Almost like I've played enough of this game to know roughly when to do things. Alright, so you are still cut out. You need to be cut out. Unset your brakes. Put you in neutral all around. Turn you off. Your handbrake needs to be unset. And then unset, unset. Unset you. Of course, that reset because I traveled away. Why wouldn't it? You. There we go. Yeah, I know. Can't pair it. Yeah, I mean... I now need to pair with this locomotive. And yeah, we're off. There we go. And off to the harbor we go. So as a reminder, what is going on right now is got the consist with the now lovely painted. It looks great. Slug and the repainted. That's what happens when you go into a tunnel in third person, I guess. The tower up there of some description. Very foggy. There we are. Yeah, we got the missing texture on that tunnel portal. 2 DE6s, the Slug, DE2, the M1U, and the utility flat car. And we're going back to harbor to hopefully pick up some jobs going towards Machine Factory. That's the idea, at least. Also, I should be looking this way. It is a little loud out here, isn't it? Might just hop inside and hang my remote out the door, so it's nice and quiet. Yeah, just a short trip back to the harbor. And again, usually there's good stuff going towards City West and Machine Factory. And that's where I need to go, is Machine Factory, so that I can get the parts for the steam engine and hopefully recoup some costs on the way there. We're not going to get to doing any of that tonight, though. Just going to be get back to the harbor, look and see what's there, and then wrapping up, basically. Okay, good. The speeds weren't really decreasing there with the brakes enabled, so I wasn't sure if there was actually anybody cut in or not. No, there is. Just took a bit more braking. Also, the harbor has loaded because my frame rate has dropped down into the 40s. It's now actually gone back up into the 60s, but yeah, the harbor is definitely within range at this point. And yeah, you can see the locomotives down there. Again, the harbor, which we can not really see at this point in time. I meant to do that, even though literally looking right towards it, there's a bit of the military base. It is very hard to see. Not that. Very foggy at the moment. Very foggy, but yeah, it's nice. I like that they allowed us finally to, without mods, repaint vehicles beyond the demo units. And it's nice to have the trains repainted as a result. Got everything but the caboose repainted. It did require an extra trip away from City South and back. But that's fine. Only cost like 1,100. Maybe closer to 1,200. It was somewhere around there. It wasn't too bad. Because again, as you've seen many a time, got a decent amount of money. I say a decent amount. That buys me the last 2 licenses that I need. And that's it. Like, I have 100,000 left over. I cannot restore any more vehicles, I think. I don't think the SO60 is that cheap to restore. I'll be able to back off the brakes in just a second. Just need to get past that steep part of the hill. It's steep right at the beginning and the end of the hill. Ascent or descent. Doesn't matter which side. The middle part is not too bad, though. Of course, watch, there's going to be a really good load going up to military base. Or like multiple things that'll pay out tons and tons of money, but there'll be nothing good going to machine factory. Just know that's going to be the case. Alright, I'm going to hop out there. Train can coast. I wasn't entirely wrong, but then again, missiles. And that requires Mil 3, Hazmat 3, which I don't have. It's drop-offs. Damn. If there was a load-up going to Machine Factory, then hell yeah. But it's not. That, though, looks very appetizing. Yeah, you're definitely cut in. Has this changed at all since I was last here? DE6, DH4, S282, and DE2. By the way, I have the license, so I can do this. Unfortunately, this won't work because, yeah, there's no steam. Let's see, steel mill is vaguely in the right direction, however, that is 10,000. Really? Get out of here. Saw mill is too far out of the way. Goods factory is out of the way. Food factory is out of the way. Oil well north, out of the way. Oil refinery is out of the way. I could do it, but it's too far out of the way in my opinion. Food factory. No. Oil refinery, that's a drop off. That's a drop off. That's a drop off. Pickup going to goods factory, don't care. Pickup going to farm. Ooh. I mean, that might just be pricey because it's a triple pickup, but interesting. Farm is on the way. Drop off, don't care. Drop off, don't care. City South, shunting. I cannot be bothered. For logistical haul, I know I said shunting, it's a logistical haul. It's also City South. City West, 40 grand going to C2I. I could. pull past and then back in. I could absolutely do that. And then the two I actually wanted to see. Yeah, I can make something of that. The real lucrative thing there, obviously, is the missiles. They are what I care about. Because that's 110,000 plus 50%. That's going to be great. Let's see. $218,000 more or less with the time bonus, which should be easily doable even with the stop off in City West. $328,000. Yeah, I think that alone will pay for the maintenance on hauling up and back, and possibly the entirety of the repair bill for the steam engines. Probably not. Probably not all of that. Maybe both steam engine S282 and trip costs. I don't know if the S060 will fit in there. But there's also this job, which I've got to look at, because farm might be worth it. Might be worth it. So I got to look into that. I want to be able to see do this. Precise movement in this game is not easy outside of VR. I don't know why I'm prioritizing that, honestly, but I am. I'm not going to be able to see any of this in the save thumbnail. Something like that, so I can see. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But there I can see now in the thumbnail, there's these 4 halls. That's clearly military, based on how long that is. Plus that's a HMB instead of HB. These are all machine factory jobs. That's clearly City West. And then there's this shunting to the farm. Which 40,000 ain't bad by itself. That might be worth doing though. We'll see. We'll see. But not tonight. Like I said, I could have wrapped up better part of an hour ago, but let's just get back to the harbor and see what's around, and oh my, is there some good stuff here. 110,000 plus time bonus just for a couple of missiles? Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna take care of this all off stream, so you don't have to see shunting. I'm sure people don't mind watching shunting, but I think the more important thing is getting up to Machine Factory, dropping off, loading up, and then coming back to Harbor. I think that's the main thing to watch, right? The shunting is It's just shunting, you know, it's running around the yard trying to get things put together. Not as interesting. Anyway, next stream is going to be on Wednesday at the usual time. It's not set to be anything, but it's more Pokemon Emerald, Rando, Catch 'em All. And yes, I do have to catch all 386 Pokemon available in Emerald. It's Rando, so they're all available. Normally, there's only like 200 some catchable. Yeah, I don't remember how many are actually catchable. Like, I know that there's 200 in the regional decks, but once you unlock the national decks, you gain access to the extended part of the Safari Zone. You gain access to a Battle Frontier, which has Sudowoodo and Smeargle. So there's a handful of new Pokemon. But yeah, that's basically it. Outside of the 200. Anyway, that's Wednesday. It's going to take a while to catch them all because, you know, I have to catch them all. I think we just got to. Was it Lily Cove? Yeah, I think it was Lily Cove. I was looking around in the Safari Zone for a certain Pokemon that's apparently available there. But we made good progress, partially because the Team Aqua and Magma storylines have been cut out completely. Because, again, the main focus is to catch them all. It's not to play the story. The main reason to play the story is just to get to the point of being able to catch them all. So, yeah. That's Wednesday. Friday, I forgot to follow up with EJ this morning before he went live. Oops. I could message him at any time, but I'd prefer bugging him right before he goes live. Not literally right before, but, you know, a little before he goes live. So that I know I'm going to likely get a quick response because he's probably at his computer by then. But yeah, I'll follow up with him tomorrow just to ensure that on Friday it will not be Assetto Corsa, but instead GTA. The start time will probably be the same, 9 p.m. if I had to guess. Normally we start at 10, but I feel like for Fridays it's probably going to become 9 p.m. because it just works better for him. And then, of course, Saturday night will also be GTA. The only time that EJ can play GTA anymore, seemingly, is on Fridays. So we're going to do GTA on Fridays occasionally, and this is one of those weeks. We just did EJLMS this past week, so this week, GTA, and then next week we'll be back to regular FNR stuff. And that's all the streams for the rest of the week. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, Wednesday is more Pokemon. Hope to see you guys there, but, well, see you guys there. See you in chat, or, you know, if you want to lurk, that's fine too. Anyway, I'm going to run some ads on the way out, as I usually do. If you don't want to stick around for them, that's fine. You're not going to miss anything. If you're a sub or a Turbo subscriber, you shouldn't see him you shouldn't see him. Twitch Turbo sub or a regular channel sub. Yeah. But if you're not, yeah, either watch ads or go away. It's not the nicest way to say it, but it's not wrong. Don't want to watch ads, just leave. Anyway, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Later.